everyone, it's Jessica with another Shimmerz Design Team layout. If you place an order, you can get a free gift with your order by adding my name, Jessica, to the notes section. And I'm starting this off with some thick, smooth white cardstock and just adding some clear Finnabair gesso to it to prep my paper to hold all the mixed media that I'm going to add. So I've just applied that with my spatula and then let that dry. I'm going to start by adding some of the vibes in Sunset Strip color. It's kind of like an orangey color, and I've just spritzed my paper with some water in the section that I want my mixed media to go, and then I'm alternating between these couple colors. This one's Squeeze the Day. It's Color Splash. It's a nice yellow that came in the monthly kit as well. So I'm just using some packaging and spraying it directly onto my packaging, flipping that over and applying it directly to my page, just kind of smushing it around on my page where I added the water. And then I'm using the same colors to add some splatters as well. I'm going to kind of let these blend together and just kind of settle a little bit. And then I'm going to dry up any big blobs on the edges just to soften it. And I'm just kind of spreading this around with my paintbrush just a little bit, just to get those to blend a little bit more and fill in those spots that I missed. But I wanted to have a little bit of white space in between the colors and in that section, just so it looks a little, just a little bit more mixed media. So I'm adding some splatters here in the various colors. I've grabbed Bumbly Bee as well. That's a Shimmerz color. It's really shimmery and pretty, so I've added some of that. And then I've grabbed my favorite gold here, which is an Inklingz. It's Minor 49er, but that is my all-time favorite gold. I've actually ordered quite a few to stockpile because I really, really love it. This is just some white acrylic paint that I've watered down to a consistency that I can splatter on with my paintbrush. And then that darker orange is Pumpkin Pie in the vibes. I've got my two photos here. My mixed media is mostly dry at this point, so I'm just going to set that aside for now. I'm going to add my photos here in a moment, but I'm just going to mat them with some more smooth white cardstock. This is just a scrap that I had left over from something else, so I'm just using it to back my photos. I've got my date stamp there and my date programmed in, although I don't think I actually even stamped the date on this one if I remember right, but oh well. I've used the Pretty Little Studio, I think it's called My Little Sunshine, or You Are My Sunshine, I think it's called. But it's the newest collection by Pretty Little Studio. I love it. I love the colors in it. I think it's super pretty. And I am using that collection today. I'm backing my photos with the small paper pad that comes in the collection. And I'm just grabbing a couple of the prints here to use for just adding some layers to my photos. I'm just using my scissors to trim them out, my fingernails to rough up the edges a little bit. I'm going to actually grab some tissue paper and pop behind these as well, just for some extra dimension separation from that mixed media, just to kind of tone that down a little bit and transition nicely to my photos. But I'm going to add them about there. But my whole vision for this revolved around this part of the layout. I really had a vision for this layout that I wanted to add some zigzaggy embroidery floss throughout this layout, through that middle section where my mixed media is. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pulling out some orange striped twine from my stash, and I am just using my brad tool and poking some holes in my layout, and then I'm going to run some of this embroidery floss through my layouts. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I added another one because I just wanted it to end a little bit differently. So I'm going to tape down the tail on the back, and I'm just going to start sewing on this with my little Sew Easy needle. It comes in the Sew Easy kit. That's what this little foam platform or foam board beneath this is from as well. It has a blunt tip on it, so it's a little bit nicer to work with whenever you're sewing on paper. And here you can see I'm just kind of figuring out what I need to do to make this zigzaggy. I just kind of go with the flow and figure out things as I go. But it's got a blunt tip on it, so it's a little easier to work with whenever you're sewing on paper because it doesn't have that pointy edge and you're not going to hurt yourself if you poke your fingers with it. So I like to use those needles, and they have a pretty nice size head on them so that you can get some thicker floss through that or thicker thread. So that makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go back and forth until I finish up this thread on here. And I'm going to speed this up in a second because I don't think you guys need to watch me sewing this whole thing. But honestly, it doesn't take me that long. It probably only took me, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes or so to finish this. So it was pretty fast. I did have to rethread once because I ran out of twine. I didn't make it long enough at the beginning, but it was fine. I just restarted and you can't even tell. I messed the one up though, and I missed a stitch. I was going to go back and fix it, but I thought, you know what, my photos are going to go right there anyways, so I'm not even going to worry about that. And then I skipped a section as well right there because I knew my photos were going to go there somewhere. I've got this large title from the collection that I'm using that says Slice of Summer, and then I wanted to pull out these Ellie Studio stickers as well for alphas because I really wanted part of my title to say Jump In, and I didn't want to stick that right on there. I peeled it back up because I wanted to pop it up with some 3D foam squares because I just wanted some dimension on those. But my son is actually just jumping in the water, making big splashes, and it was super fun. So I wanted part of my title to say Jump In. So I'm going to add that to the top here, and I'll probably end up popping up that bottom title as well. And then this collection has some beautiful scallop borders that I love, so I'm going to pull in some of those. And I am going to just glue down my photos at this point because I know that they're going to go about there. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those down with some Nuvo glue, and then I can just continue adding things around this. This collection pack has some really great embellishments, so I'm just going to look and see what else I might want to add to this and put below this. I'm thinking maybe some wordy bits or phrases, along with maybe using some of these cute little border strips. I love the little scallop borders and incorporating those into my layouts and around my photos. So I'm definitely going to pull out a couple of those and use them alongside my photo. And I think at the bottom underneath that title would be a good spot for some of these as well. So I'm just trimming this one down. I want to use this orangish color one to match with my mixed media. And my son's little life jacket has lots of orange and red on it. So that's kind of where my color scheme came from and my inspiration on this layout. And I've got these cute little clouds that came in this collection that I absolutely love too. So I'm going to add a couple of those above my photos. And here, I actually did stamp my date. It's right here. I thought I forgot it in this one, but I actually remember just now seeing it on this video playback that I did put my date on there, and I just put it on one of the tabs that come in the collection. I'm going to pull out this set by Scrappin Happy Studio. This actually comes in a box set. I think you get like 5 or 6 different packs of Flair, and it's all in one box for like a summer box kit. And I have this set here that I've pulled out to use on this layout because it had those beautiful orange and yellow tones to it, and I just love it. So if you want to grab that, you can grab that from Scrappin Happy Studios. She sells amazing Flair. And then again, if you want to grab anything from the Shimmerz shop, make sure you use my name in the notes, Jessica, because it'll earn you a free gift, and it is always a really good free gift. So they never send you anything that say didn't sell good or they have a ton of leftover. No, you always get a good gift and something that you most likely will use and love. So I am just going to continue embellishing this and finish this off, just adding a few more little things using my tape runner and using some of this Deluxe Nuvo adhesive. It dries clear and it has a really nice tackiness to it. So I know that it's going to stick really well on top of all that beautiful mixed media in the background. The Flair, I like to use glue dots and create a glue dot sandwich because I usually run some thread in behind it, which is what I'm going to do here. This thread that I'm working with here is very difficult to work with. It's like a gold, but it's a really strange texture. It doesn't want to ever wind up right and create circles behind it like I like it to look. And I just find it very strange. It just wants to stay completely straight. So you have to really manipulate it by hand and exactly the way that you want it to go. So I don't recommend using that thread. It's really pretty though whenever it has a final result on your layout. So that's kind of why I like to use it, because it just looks really pretty in that gold color. But once you work with it and kind of manipulate it around, it's fine. But regular cotton thread doesn't do that. It kind of winds up nicely. But this one's just of odd kind of shiny material. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the other flare, and then I'm going to add a few flowers to finish this one off, and then I'm going to pop in at the end and show you the finished layout. So here is the finished layout. I really love how this one turned out, and I love all those beautiful colors and that mixed media, and of course the photos of my little guy. So if you guys enjoyed this process video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you're notified of future videos that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.